Okay, hello everyone. Just let me know if you can actually hear me. Okay. Hello, hello. Hello. Oh, okay. Is it loud now? Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Is it loud now? Can you all hear me? Okay, great. Cool. Okay, hello everyone. Good evening, good morning from here, and good evening generally. So welcome back to day two. Okay, loud and clear. Nice, cool. Okay, everyone, welcome back to day two, and today we'll continue from where we stopped yesterday. But first of all, before we start, let me just ask the question: do we all have our Figma all set up? Because I did share the links with the people individually that had issues yesterday. So first of all, let's just solve that first. Do we have that figured out? Everyone with Figma is all set, right? I believe the people who were having issues yesterday were, I think there were seven. Yeah. So we have Bella, we have Musa, we have Banky Graphics, we have Davi, we have Emmanuel, and just let me know if you all have Figma set up. Okay. I believe that's a yes from everyone. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start now. Let's dive into today's lecture. Okay, cool. We're good. Let's go. Okay, so this is where we ended yesterday, and yeah, this is where we ended yesterday. But there are a few adjustments on my end right here because I had to do research on the flow and how, because normally I do use 20 as the margin on every of my design, but then I had to go and check some other places, do some research, and then I came back to the realization that there is so there are things that actually goes on around this border place here. So whenever you're designing a screen, there is a normal set of rules. Okay, so this is what I noticed. Okay, so let me just draw a frame here and type everything down. You can see it. So basically, for margins here, left and right, for it to be like this, you have to make sure that the margin screen, so we said 20 yesterday, but then someone mentioned it has to be four red lines. Okay, four red lines is good. But then the margin, this is the different sets of margin to keep in mind. So for the first step, for the phone mobile version, it has to be 16 px, right? And then the for the um, tablet version, it has to be 16 times 2, which is 32. And then for your for your versions, for the margin, it has to be uh, 32 times 2, which is 64 px. Okay, so these are the different stages of the margin. So what we have here now, which is what we have right here now, right, is we fixed it to 16. It has been fixed to 16. If you check it right now, you can check this place, you can see 5, then margin is 16. Okay, so we can actually adjust that on every of our screens. If you have done the one we did yesterday, you can just check that out. And this is how it will be when you have actually adjusted it. Okay. Um, Loading time. So basically, I set the margin of the edges. It's 16. 16 is for mobile. 32 is for tablet. Then 64 is for your desktop. So we have mobile, tablet, and desktop. So whenever you're doing something, so this one now is for mobile. Mobile will be having 16, which we have here, 16 here, margin. Then when you're using the one for a tablet, you use, let's just say, Surface Pro 8, and then you come here to your layout guide. When you add your layout guide, you go to colon, and then colons here. What you do now is that you add 32. That's it. So this is for tablets, 32, and then for your web, which is your desktop, um, you use 64 when it's for web for your desktop. Okay, so those are the three different um, layout guide process. Okay, so I believe we are good to go now. So let's continue what we're doing yesterday. Okay, so I believe everyone has done this first screen, not the one you're seeing now because that's for later. Okay, don't be confused. We're not going there. Okay, so first of all, I believe everyone has done this first screen, and okay. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to do a different version of this welcome screen. Okay, so now we have this as the welcome screen when you open your app, which is what we normally have every time when you open an app, and then we're just going to duplicate it. So there are two ways of duplicating it, which I know of. So you can actually no, three ways. Sorry, you can press Ctrl C, and then you click on just anywhere around, and then you press Ctrl V, and to paste it next to what you've done. Then the other way is Ctrl D. Ctrl D duplicates it, but when it's actually, what don't you actually don't understand? That's the question I want to ask. What don't you understand? Hello, Mr. Wisdom, what don't you understand? Okay, since there's no response from there, we'll continue. Okay, so like I said, there are different ways of duplicating your screen. Number one, you can actually press Ctrl C, which is the normal way you copy, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. How to create a workspace. Okay, so basically you can actually watch that again if you actually missed that part, because I don't know which of the workspace you're talking about. Is it the one for your margin? Is it the one for the whole interface here, or the first screen which you missed? Maybe you didn't watch the one of yesterday, so you can watch it again to understand. Okay, so like I said, Ctrl C, Ctrl V to copy and paste. Then the next one, if you maybe you're working very, you want something fast, you can press Ctrl D to duplicate. That's still a good way. And then the next one is you can actually hold, you press your Alt, you press your Alt, you click, and then you drag. So when you press it, that's you duplicate. Okay, so that's how you, those are the three ways to duplicate your screen. You hold Alt, and when you hold Alt, right, you'll notice that you frame first. Remember that you click on then you press Alt. When you press Alt, you notice that the icon, your cursor changes. It has two marks here. It's also the same on Photoshop, and yeah, it actually has the same effect. So you just click and then you drag. So that's how to duplicate on Figma. You duplicate your frames. So let's do another version of this screen on Figma. And basically, we have seen different types of screens online. That are different types. It's just how to do them. That's a problem. That's the main point of everything that you're doing. So when you are doing it, you should make sure that you have an idea on what you are actually looking forward to. Like there are different welcome screens of every app. Like some app might start by showing you the logo, and then the next thing is they show you the interface. Is when you want to do something that the sign up button comes up. That's how some app are. So they're telling you that you're welcome to the app, but then for you to do anything, you have to sign up. That's why a process is actually needed whenever you are doing a design, and that's what we call the workflow, or like a work chat. And basically, how to do the work chat, you can actually just maybe do it right here, or you can actually go to this place here called, okay, so you can actually go to, if you go to your home here, it's normally on the home. You can go to this place called FigJam. You can do it right there. If you click on FigJam, this is what happens. It opens a new file generally. Okay, so you wait for the FigJam to open. Okay, so this is FigJam generally. It just opens. So basically, this is where you actually do a mind map. And what do you understand by a mind map? So in school, mind maps actually your process, like what is going, where is it going, how is it going to flow, like what screen is going to what screen, and so on and so forth. So basically, mind map helps the designer and also your client to know what you're working on. And basically, you can see it right here. So this is a mind map, right? If you click on the mind map, you can actually use the AI feature right here to create your mind map. You can type what you want and then you generate it. Now you can see what it has given us, like an example. So this is a mind map. You can see an example right here. So for now, you can say maybe this one is your home screen. From your home screen, you can say home sorry, let's just say welcome page links, then also your login page, then your sign. Yeah, so Figma actually opens slowly and it takes time to actually flow. That's the truth. And if it happens like that every time, it means that your laptop might be low on RAM or memory. So that might be the problem. So if you are using that and maybe you have the app on your laptop, you switch to the web version, you use the web version, that's okay. So you won't have issues with downloading the app on your laptop. So if it's actually slow on your laptop, use the web version. Okay. So okay. So we say okay. So basically, we know that the welcome page, login page, and the sign in page, right? So this is like an example of my map. So we say okay, the welcome page, login page, and signing page will lead to the home page. This is just an example, a rough example. And then from the home page, you will notice that you have all information and let's just say menu tab. So it's just like giving an information of what's going to happen, what you're going to see on that page. This is one example of a mind map. Then the other example of a mind map is when you just come and then you start doing things like this. So you can say, okay, I don't really use it that much, but let's just say this is an example. So you draw a rectangle. So this is a rectangle of your just a simple rectangle, and then you say, okay, this will be your welcome page, right? And then you see this will now take you to your no. Let's go back here. Let's say okay. So welcome page will take you to your okay. So take to your login directly first. Then optional will be to sign in with Google. Okay, so basically, bringing that's the idea you're bringing up. Like this is your mind map. This is a big field where you can just put in your direct places. What we're going to do next. It's like explaining the process of how the app will work, and then from signing with Google, you know that you have to go to your Google account and all those here and there. And then from signing to Google, you can actually come here to your so you can say okay, this one will actually lead to let's just say let's add this right here. Let's delete this one. Let's say okay, so we have sign in with Google, and then we also have this. Okay, so we just say this one will now be signed however you want. Okay, saying however you want, you can come here, you bring it like this, and you say okay, you want it to be like this. You seen it? So you can say you want it to be you want them to be two screens instead of one. So you can say okay, signing with Google will be here, and then the other one will be let's say uh, we can bring the signing with Google here, and also we can say we want it to be signing to sign. So what does this mean? On this first page, you know that on the welcome page, when you open the app, the first thing it takes you to is login. Then the second one, which is the other option, is that when it comes up, it can take you to sign in and sign in with Google. So this is just an example. And then you cannot extend after signing in, you can go to your profile page to set up your profile. Set up profile. And then from setup profile, it now takes you to, you see, when you are over this icon, this blue thing here, the arrow comes up, and then you click on it. The next thing takes you to your dashboard, depending on the app that you're building. So maybe a dashboard, or maybe your, so that's the thing. So you can see how, and then on the setup profile, you can say, okay, you want to put in the information that will put in your setup profile. So this is just critical thinking of how you're doing your app. So on the setup profile, you can say you want to do the person's profile picture. Okay, next would be profile picture. Okay, next would be profile picture, name, address. So these are the things you just start listing. Yeah, see, you can just extend it and say, okay, this is what the profile picture, the profile we have. You can say it will have the person's address, name, location. Let's just say uh, mobile number, and profession. Okay, so when you have all this set, you can now say, okay, you want it to be in a list. And when you hover, you can see this thing here. You can make it a list, and then you can come here, you align the text to left. So this is just an example of how the flow will be on the app. So are we good here? If you understand what I've just done, just let me know. If it's not confusing, because I can see everyone is just quiet and being like, what is he talking about? Are we good? Is this Figma? Okay, it is Figma. So yeah, this is FigJam. Okay, so just let me know if you understand what I've just said. Yeah, it's included. I'm just saying. So it depends on what you're doing. You can add date of birth, anything. I'm just saying, explaining. So if you understand what I've just said, please let me know. Okay, I believe that the timing is like 5 seconds behind. So maybe you guys are hearing me after I've said, maybe after 5 seconds or 10 seconds after I've said it. Okay, so if we're are we here? If you understand and you're good with what we've just done, please let me know. Just on the comment, you can just type something, or you give an emoji reaction to let me know you're following. Okay, great. That's cool. So we're on track then. So let's continue. So we already know this is just a rough sketch now. We know that, okay, welcome page will lead to login. And basically we've already sketched everything that this would be, what the app system and how the app will be. This is telling you that, okay, you enter the app, the first thing you see is the login, and then from the login you go into maybe you can do your sign up or sign in with Google, or sign in. I think sign in will be good. Sign up, yeah, we can say let it be sign up instead of sign in. So sign up. So okay, okay, cool, yeah. Okay, so this is how the system will be. You can actually extend it. Like I say, it's like a whole family tree. It's like you're creating a whole family tree. So this is how it will be. You continue the tree where to go from dashboard. From dashboard, you know that it will have different places. You can go to your menu, um, those different things like that. So those are just, and then so for the bullets, you can actually, like I said, you just need to hover up and just select everything, and then you see this. Anytime you are typing, you will normally see this tab on top of it. So the tab on top of it, you can see bold, you can see strike through, and then you can see link. You can create a link, maybe an example. So you can do that, and also you see the bulleted list right here. When you click on it, it will affect your text which you've selected, and then you will now come here to your text alignment, and then you align to your left. Okay, so that's how you do everything right here. Cool, cool. Great. So now we're going to go back to normal Figma. Let's continue what we're doing. Okay, great. So today we'll continue with this. And basically, I believe we'll fix all the margins, like we said. And that's the thing. So what I do mostly is that I copy from, different files that I've done. But as a beginner, you have to first create that file first by yourself. So that's what you need. And how do we do that? What we're going to do now is that that's what that helps you do is that it helps you keep track of the top bar here. Now on mobile phones, you know that this place here, there is a camera. There's always a camera right here. So what that time does is that it helps you know that you're starting from somewhere around here, to make your text not obstruct when you're doing your work. You need to avoid it, that the text will be hidden under this camera house or your tab here. You have to make sure, so you know that this place is covered, and this place will be the time. So that's why, for me, I always create that time. So the time and your battery icon right here. And first of all, let's do this, and then we do the icon and tab on top. So we're going to delete this picture right here, and then we're going to bring it right here. And how do we do that? When you want to bring in an image, we know that we already have like a whole library is on Figma. All we do is that right click right here, and then we go to plugins, or we come here to your manage plugins place. You can click here, and then you come here to plugins and widgets, and then you can actually search for different plugins right here. We have Unsplash, and Unsplash is a big library for pictures, right? So we just go to Unsplash. Okay, so you click on Unsplash, and then you wait for it to load, and just wait. Okay, great. Okay, so we have Unsplash here, and then we want to maybe do something concerning ads. So you can come here and click ads, and then you wait for it to load photos on ads, and then we see things like this. And let's just say if we can see something on graphic design. Let's see graphic design. Okay, cool. So we have all this right here. Okay, so we have a lot of, well, okay, let's just use this one. Okay, so we're gonna have this, and just gonna click. So there are different ways to actually do this kind of thing, and one of the ways that you can actually draw a frame right here. You can draw a frame and say, okay, and say this frame is right here, and then you click on the frame. When you are clicked on the frame, just click on the picture, and then you wait for it to load. Then it loads on that frame. Okay, but if you're actually clicking just outside anywhere like this, like you're clicking anywhere, no frame at all, if you click on this, it will actually appear on just around anywhere on the screen there. Okay, so that's what it does. So that's the two different things. If you to be organized and to be fast, you need to just draw a frame, and then you do that. Okay, so we have this frame right here, And this frame, we know that we just drew it for drawing sake. Okay, so we'll have to arrange it right now. And basically, we know that this screen is having a width of 430 right here, 430 by 932. 932 is your height, which is the screen height right here. And then your width is 430. Okay, so we click on this, right? And then we drag it into this frame here. So drag it into this frame right here. If it's not entering the frame as you're dragging it, you should make sure that it enters. Okay, so if it's not entering, you can just from here, if it's outside and it's still showing this frame 3, you can press Ctrl X, which is X, like the X target, which is X, just X ox, anyhow we pronounce it. You click on the frame here, you press Ctrl V, so it pastes on that place. And then we'll come to position here. You position it to your center, you raise it up, okay? And then you can actually say you want it to be like this, or you can actually do the curve. You can add a curve to it if you want. You can say you want it to be, let's just say the curve should be let's just say 30. So these are ideas that you can use for your mobile screens. You can say, okay, you want it to be 30, and then you have your picture right here like this, and then you can have your text here. You can say this one will be your main text. Your main text should be about, like, just say, we can change it now. So these are just different ideas we're putting together right here. This one will be 20. And then we can say we want the next test. How to duplicate? Ctrl C, Ctrl V, or Ctrl D, any one of it. So we can say, okay, we can say Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Okay, down here. And then the smaller text will be around 14. And then we can say, okay. Everywhere around the world, you are gifted to be one. Okay, so we have this, and then we can change the space around it. Let it be 20. We can change this to regular. Yeah, regular. Then we can say this one should be bold or semi-bold. Yeah, semi-bold is cool. So yeah, this is, we're getting our ideas all baked out little by little. And basically we have created a entire new screen. Like, this is entirely new. Okay, if you can still hear me, just let me know. Okay, if you can hear me, let me know. Okay. Okay, so we have this. And so yesterday I was asked what is an auto layout. Okay, so the simple thing is that what auto layout does is that it helps us organize our files. Okay, it helps us organize our files. And basically, it's, for an example, we just use a simple example. I think something we all know. So we were staying in our apartment, right? And we always move shares around, and we like to keep the shares in order, right? We have that, like, every time we're arranging the chairs in the house, we make sure that's in order. We know that there's a curve. We know that there's one that will actually link two other chairs together. We know that there is one at the center. We know that there is the one for dad. Yes, that's normal. We have the one, the daddy share is always there. So we know how we are arranging them. And basically, that share might be separate from the other ones. And basically, that's like an example of an auto layout. So basically, what an auto layout is, let me just put it, how would I say it? It lets you create responsive and easy to edit frames, even though sometimes it might be confusing, but then it helps you to keep them organized. Okay, and it helps you to edit them later on, like we have for the text. If you notice for the buttons, you can actually easily edit the signing. You can change the height, you can change the width and everything, and it makes them more aligned. For example, now it's more aligned in a way that if I click on the button right now, right, you can notice that on the button, if I double click and highlighted on the text, um, if I'm highlighted on the text, I want to know, can you guys hear me? Really? I never knew that the class has ended. I thought it was still on. Let me see. So basically, thank you. There are people actually still on, so you can actually check. So thank you so much. I was confused just now. I was like, it's actually showing me that we're live, but then I was surprised that people could not hear me. Now I'm like, okay, how? That's scary. Okay. So back to what I was saying. I said, it's easy for auto layout helps us to keep things organized. Okay. So, like the button we have here, if you notice, the auto layout helps us to keep it in a way that is at the center. And we know that the spacing from left and right is very equal. If you notice, if you hover over your your sign in right now, right, you can notice if you press Alt, you will see that the spacing from left and right, it's right there. You can see it right here. Okay, so the spacing is accurate, it's at the center, and then we have this is also at the center too. Like everything is good. If you want to add anything to it, you can add anything to it, and then to be structured very well. So it helps keep things structured, and it does it automatically. When you add things inside, it just automatically sets up the whole place for you. Okay. So, like I said, there are different ways you can say, okay, this one is one of them, and also you can even do it in a way that it will have a full. Um, you can have the picture can be full. So let's close on Splash right now, and we'll do it in a way that the picture can be full. We can remove the curve on the picture. We can say 0, and then we extend this to the top. Okay, and then we put it from left, then okay, position top. Okay, cover the screen, and then we can fix everything right here. It's 430. Yeah, and then you just make sure that everything here aligned with what we have right here. But if you know that you're seeing the white space on the edge, you can fix it. You can say, okay, you want to just increase the size of it, just make it come out a bit. and yeah, you fill it up, and then you have this. Okay, so these are the different ideas that you can put together when creating a screen. You see all these different points. You are creating the screen, modernizing it in a way that okay, you know that okay, this is what is modern. And then the next thing you can actually do on the screen is that you can add this slide effect, which you can just indicate by putting a button there. So you can just come here, rectangle, and then on the rectangle, you can draw it on top of the frame right here. Okay, that's it. That's a bit big. Okay, let's just say width should be uh, 20. Uh, height should be 6. Okay, so that's 6. And then add curve of about 10. Okay, add curve of about 10. And then you see the curve right here. Now, watch this. This is something that it's very, very easy to notice when editing. So basically, we know that this is um, 20 width and 6. Okay, so the next one now, for you to make it a circle, you just need to duplicate this by using the same method, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then you notice that this is height already, this is width. So to make it a circle, you can just say you want your width to be 6, and then transform into a circle. And then you can say, okay, you want to increase the height a bit. So the height now can be, let's just say 10. And then when you fix that height to be 10, you can come to the second one right here, and then you make it 10 to make it a circle. You see? So, and then you can extend this a bit. You can say you don't want it to be 20, you can say 25. And then you know that this is the active screen. And then we know it is, let's just say this one should be. So we're going to take the color from here. We just click on this, and then you go down, click on this. So this indicates that this is the active photo right now. Then this color indicates that, which is D9, D9, D9 indicates that it's the next one to come. So the next photo will always, when it moves, you know that this one will have this shape, and that's the idea you're giving to the developer. So that's the thing you're doing, you're crafting out the idea. So what you do now to make it easy, now watch this. Now watch how auto layout works here. I will select the two of them. How do I select them? You click on this first, you hold shift, you click on the next one right here, then you press shift A. Shift A. If you don't understand that, Control Z. You select both of them first, like I said, you hold shift, select two of them, and then you can come to your right here. You see this layout right here. If you hover over it, you see something called shift A. So it's telling you that you can actually press shift A to create an auto layout. When you click on it, you notice that it has actually given them the auto layout. Everything is actually there. And then you fix it. You can say, okay, the space, you can come here to reduce the space in between them. You can see it's actually active right there. I believe you can see, yeah, okay, so you can see right here. So you can see the space, just put 5, 5, okay. Now watch this, watch how auto layout works. So I'll select only the circle. Now, if you are finding it hard to select only the circle for the first time, I know that maybe some people are tired of clicking. Like me, sometimes I'm tired of clicking every time. So you can just press Control and then you click on the circle. Then it just select the circle directly. So you can click on, you hold Control, hover over the circle, click on it. So it selects the circle for you. Okay. So you want to duplicate the circle. Now watch this. Watch how auto layout works. If I press Control C, Control V, you see, it just flows. It has already taken the space from the first one we did here, which is this space, the same space right here. And how does this work? What makes it work like that? So it's easy. Okay. Okay, so this is how it works. On the auto layout place, you can see that this is the first one. The first one here is freeform. So freeform means there is nothing holding it. So it's just, you can just, it's just free, no restriction. It's like a frame. There is nothing there holding it. It's just free. So it's not like it's not tied to a major system, so it can flow anywhere. And then we have this one called the you can actually add the auto layout again, because freeform is like just fitting there, so it cancels the auto layout for you. So this is horizontal, which we have here. Then we have the one for vertical, which is how this one looks like. And then we have the one for grid. So grid is like, you can see how grid is. So grid is, maybe you want, you can see how this is telling you how you want it. So maybe you want it to be like this or like this. You just add the amount of grid you want it to be. Now, this is the new form of auto layout which they brought in recently, where you can actually add your grid layout directly. So you are drawing your grid, and let me just take it back. Let me show you an example. Okay, so we'll come back to this right now. I'm just showing you how to use the auto layout in different ways. So there are a lot to learn about Figma. It's a big one. Okay, so basically, if you come here and then you just select everything right here, just everything natural. Okay, so the next thing now is that what I do is that I just draw a rectangle, yeah, right here. And basically, if I say auto layout right now, and then I want the auto layout to have this grid, I just grid beta, and then I want it to be, let's just say 4 by 3. And then you can notice that each of this, inside the rectangle, right? Inside the rectangle, everything here is divided into, wait, go back. Let's do that again. If you can hear me, just let me know. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. That's cool. So on this grid now, you can actually add different images on it. So what you do whenever you want to use this form of grid system, you first of all draw a frame, not a rectangle, sorry. I always do a mistake that time. So you draw a frame, and then when you're on the frame, you come to this place, grid, and then you see the grid here showing you 4. You see? So it's showing you 4 different things. It's mostly when you're doing like maybe a photo portfolio, you can use this kind of thing to do it. You can just use it, and then you create your auto. Just when you have your this thing here, you can create auto and auto, and then you put in your space you want it to be. You can add your space right here. Yeah, just fix it. It's like what we did for what we did for the rectangle just now. We just did. So you can actually just come here on, and then you can actually drag a file. Let's just say, let's look for something to just put in there. Let's, for example, okay, if I have it, let's just say any picture right now. Okay, so we have, okay, let's just say this. Okay, so we have this. Okay, just small, right? So I have this photo right now, and Then this is the frame we've created with different grid system. We drag it inside, and then you notice that you can actually put it right here. Just okay, put it right here, and it just flows in. It gives you the grid showing you that okay, this is the center, this is where it will be, and basically when you have this grid system, it will just help you organize your work in a very um, like I said, auto layout helps you organize. So you already have a structure of how this will be. If you notice, you already have a structure. Like I said, I used an example of a house. So you know that okay, this is where the chair will be, this is where the other chair will be, this is where the chair will be, this is where the chair will be. So this one now will not be like a field to follow whenever you're arranging it. I don't know if you understand me. If you understand, just let me know. Like I said, auto layout system is it's a guide. Okay, so just let me know if you understand that, and then we move to what we were doing before. Okay, so we have the slide this thing here. Like I said, you come, you press control, and then you click on the circle, right? Press control C, control V. Okay, and we have now apart from this one we just did, if you notice, there is this panel here. Now, what this panel helps you do is that it helps you align the auto layout. Like I said, it helps you to arrange everything on your design. This is what the auto layout does. So when you're on this panel right now, you notice that you have this align, top left, align, left, align, bottom left. Okay, so what this helps you do is that it helps you to align your items in the auto layout. So on this one now, if you notice on the button auto layout, we have it aligned to center. If I click here now, you notice that the button will move, the text will move to the right. You click here, it moves to the center. Sorry, if you click here, it moves to the left. Click here, moves to the center. Click here, moves to the right. Okay. Now, if you notice around the auto layout, you have this dashes around them. So basically, it's the spacing from the top and the bottom, left and right. And where do you see that? It's actually here. If you notice, this is where it is. So you can actually customize it if you want to, and you can actually leave it like fixed to 10. So you can say both sides can be 10, or you can say both sides, one can be 10 and one can be 20. Depends on how you want it to be. But then you have everything in order right here. You just need to come here and control everything center. Okay. So for this one now, we can actually just say we want it to be center. So we just put it center. So anything we add now, you notice it's going to be like coming from the center. Before it was coming from the left. Now if you press Ctrl D, this is how it works now. So if you click on this, everything. So if you click on the auto layout first, let's click on the auto layout first, and then it's already fixed the center. And then what you do now is go to the position, put it at the center. So it's at the center right now, right here. So if you click on the circle right here now inside, press Ctrl D, everything is just going to be, you notice it's not leaving the center. If you notice on the screen, everything is adding, but then it's adding, it's taking that center point. If you notice it right now, Ctrl D, everything is just going to be center, 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 center. So that's the idea of auto layout. It helps you to organize things very well on your, okay, so you have this. Let me just delete all this. I don't need menu. Okay, so okay, let's just say we have 5 pictures. That will be a slide. Okay, so this is everything, like more things on auto layout right here. We've done it so far. Now the next one will be bringing in your like, wow, we've really done a lot on auto layouts. It's been a long video. Okay, so the next one will be creating your time and your battery bar on top. And how do we do that? It's way easy in a way. So we have the your frame here is 430 in width, right? So 430 in width now, what do? We come here, we click on the frame, and then we come to this place. What we do now is that we can actually draw it first like plainly, or we'll come here to phone and then we select it again, 430 by 932, and then we change the height here to, let's just say, around 70. Let's see, 70. So if we put 70 right here, let's test it. We put 70 right here, we put it to position top center. How does it look like? Okay, so center. Okay, so we put it in the center. We see how it is. Okay, so let's just say we want it to be, let's try 50. Okay, 50 is fair. Yeah, 50 is fair. So we can actually use 50. Yeah, let's use 50. So 50. And then the next thing we'll be bringing in your details. Now, first of all, let's come back to this place here. Before we go to that place, now see something, we didn't do it here. So there's something we missed here, and it's called auto layout, which we didn't add here. So we can actually add it now. Click here, and then click here too. So we say the space should be, let's just say 10. Okay, 10. And then what do? We come here, we add auto layout. So know that's 10 space right there. Then this one and this one, I think the space. Okay, so this is 15. So let's just come here and fix it. Let's make this 15. Space should be 15. Okay, and then we can say, okay, maybe we don't want that. Now this is where a pattern comes in, which the documentation of your file. Maybe we see that it is 15, but then the 15 is too big, the space is too much. We can say, okay, we'll bring it back at 10. So we know that on this page you can actually note it down that, okay, so on this page the text, the space between the text should be 10, and then the buttons, the space between the buttons should be 15. You can see it right here, 15. Okay, so now you notice that the auto layout structure is different from the normal structure. Yes, Shift A, that's the shortcut. So you notice that the structure for auto layout is different from the one for the normal structure. So normal structure, you have to click on both frames and then you see your spacing right here close to your clip content. But on the auto layout structure, you see it close to this tab here for alignment. It's right here. That's where you see the space. Okay, so that's the difference. So you can add your auto layout right here too. Shift A, and you make it 10. Cool. So we have this one all set. Next one will be here, which is the information on top. Okay, so you click here, and then the next thing should be we come here to your, we can actually just copy text because you don't need to do everything from scratch. Come here, you just copy the text, Ctrl C. You come here, Ctrl V. So you type 9, I just say 10. It's not every time that the time is 10, 30, or 10, 20, 10, 30. Yeah. Okay. Type that, and then we fix the, like I said, remember it's always like this sometimes. So you just double click on the edge, then it falls back. So you zoom in, then you fix everything. Okay, so you have this right here. So now this is where you come and fix in your the normal thing we normally do, which is your layout grid. So on your layout grid, you can add your layout grid right here. Just add it colon, and then you add it 16. Okay, so you can put it at 16. But for me, when it's at 16, I don't put it at the edge, I put it at the center because it's a time. So it's not compulsory for it to be at the edge. So put it inside the first box right here, center of the first box. Just measure it and see how center. And then the next one here will be your icons. And how do we do that? Now, this is where we are introduced to a new plugin called Iconify. So on Iconify, we do the right click, you go to plugins, or you click here, anyone you want. It's the same thing you do. You come here and then you go to manage plugins. Manage plugins will actually bring up this here again. And then you search for an icon called Iconify. Iconify, not icon 8. Please always remember. So you click on Iconify and then you see something called run. Then you click on run. For people who are just opening for the first time, you see run. So when you do that, okay. So now we'll click on the frame, which we have for the tab right here. And then we start to look for the icons that we want. So next, the first one will be battery. Okay. So now something I want you to do to be professional on this place. When you click on the text right here, know that there are some settings that you normally see. So on the right here, you see that the height of the text is 21, right? 21. So that 21, I know that, okay, all the icons I'm going to bring now should be between 20 and 21 in height. Okay, so that's what you fix it in your mind that, okay, all the icons I'm bringing in should be 20 or 21 in height. So you have that accuracy on your mind. Then what you do now is that you look for battery. You can any amount of battery. This one will be good. You click on the battery and then you come here. You say, okay, the icon size should be 20. Okay, and then the color should be, this is 000. So you change color here to be 0000, just plain 0. Okay, so the next one, you click on this frame here and then you import it, import as frame. Click on it. You see, so you have the battery in. Cool. So you have the battery all set. Next, let's drag it here. Okay, cool. Let's put it right here. Then the next one will be, let's look for, click on the frame again. Make sure you click on the frame. Always remember that. Frame again, and then the next one will be network. So network, you look for something that relates to the network that you have on your phone. Just look for something that relates to it. And I believe this one works. So you make sure it's 20, import as frame. Cool. Okay, so we have this two right here. Cool. Okay, so we have this two right here. Then this one, we have the battery. Now for the battery, now if you want to customize, you can customize it to your own. Like I said, you are free to do anything that you want. Even if you want to take your time to type your 5G and design it in a way you want, it's your own, how you want it to be. So you can say, okay, you have your battery and then you have your network, and then you can say, okay, you want to add maybe a Wi-Fi or something. So yeah, you can do that too. Just around network, I think you can see Wi-Fi. Okay, you can look for something similar to, yeah, this one works. Then you add import a string. Cool. Shoot it to the edge. Okay, like I said, normally I can actually just go to an old, if you have created it before, like I always do, you can go to an old frame, you can copy it and then you paste it there. That's, you see, there are different ways of doing it. You can just I can come here, copy this, I'm good to go. So basically I have it every time. So okay, so now we have this right here, and then we can actually just arrange it. Let's just say we're gonna say, okay, we want to twist the battery this way. Just go to the edge, fix it that way. Yeah, just adjust it. Put it here. Then you can come here. This is 20, but this one inside is not 20. So you can just press. Now for you to fix this, right, you can notice that this is 20, this is 20, and you want it to be on like the edge, the same thing we have here. You can see the edge right here. So you want to be equal. You can actually come here, double click on it. So you select the group inside, you press K, make sure you're pressing K, and then you come here. Just increase a bit like this, and then you double click on it again, a bit like this right here. Okay, so I think it's on equal. Okay, right, let's fix it. Okay, so we have, you notice that it's cutting out. You can click on it right here, and then you go to, you put off this clip content. So you can actually clip content on your frame. Yeah, so you can unclip it, and then to be like this. You have your battery, you have this, you can fix the battery too. Maybe you don't want it to be like this and it's too small, you can just press K again. You put like this. Yeah, just fix it how you want. And then you're good to go. You just need to click on all of them now. So you click on this one first. You hold shift, click on this, and click on this. Then you press shift A to put your auto layout. And then you can say, okay, you want it to be, the space between them should be 10. So basically you have this all set for you now. So on the screen, now you see we have the battery and this thing all set now. So now basically there are different ways of actually putting it on your screen. Now you can say you want it to be, you don't want any, like when you're using your app, and some app adapts to your screen, some don't. So when you are doing it, there might be some app that might be like, let me just show you an example with this design right here. So I duplicate this design, and then you put it right here. Just gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm not gonna just put it there. So I'm just gonna duplicate it and put it right. No, I don't want to put it inside the frame. So make sure that when you're dragging, you should make sure that you know where you're putting it. Because if you place it here, you put it inside the picture frame. But we don't want it inside the picture frame. We want it inside the big frame, this main screen. So we just put it down, and then what we do now is that we just put the position up, center. Okay, so right now this is what we have. Right, this is what we have, and we can fix this. Let's just say we want it to be, yeah, I think it's okay like that. Okay, so we have this right now, and basically you can see why I say I don't want this thing to start from the edge right here, because it will be close to the edge of the screen, so it's better right here. And then we have your icons on the right. Okay, so the icons on the right, and then now we have this. Now it's showing you that, okay, so it's on white every time you want to it was being on white. And then there are some apps that normally have it, and it adapts to your screen, and instead of it to be black and white background like this, you'll notice that it will have this. So what I do is that I create for two. So this is one, then the second one will be like this. The second one won't have, since I already have a system here that is working, I'll just click on this two now, which is I'll click on this first, this auto layout here, press shift, and then you click here, right? Press Ctrl C. No, don't press Ctrl C yet, please. Press Shift A to put it on an auto layout. Press Ctrl C next, and then click here. Press Ctrl what? Press Ctrl V. Okay. Press Ctrl V, and then you will now change the color, which is your selection colors right here. Change it to white. So you have this system right here. So you can see different system. You have the one for your plane, which is white, and then you have the one for, so you can see the two of them working together hand in hand. You have this one right here, and then you have this one right here. Okay, so the plugins actually there, it's not like I'm downloading it, it's always on Figma. So you can actually go here anytime. You click here, and then you have the Iconify. You search for, you just come here, you search Aquanify or you search for Unsplash. Okay, so it's just here. When you search for it, it always comes up. So there is no magical plugin that you have to bring from outside into Figma. It's on Figma. Everything is on Figma. Okay, so that's the whole explanation of auto layout and you know just designing your sign screen. Then we are going to end in the next screen, which is what we're supposed to do a lot, but 1 hour is already gone. So we will just do the next one, which is your login and your sign up screen. Okay, so we're going to do something similar. I'm going to do something similar right here. So we have the welcome back login screen, and then we have the other one, which is your create account screen. So I'm going to do this two screens right now. Okay, so for us to create these two screens, we just need to create the same thing, which is your system right here. It's a simple system and simple to adapt to. Okay, so let's go with that. Okay, so now for the next screen, we just need to, you can actually just come here and then duplicate this one, Control D. Okay, and then you delete these. You don't need this one, and then we can actually come here to the time. You can change it to let's change the time now to black. Okay, and then we delete this auto layer right here. We don't need it. Okay, so we can actually select it right here. Okay, so it's already gone because it's actually inside the frame right here, so we don't need to. It's already gone with the image. Okay, so we come here. So the next one will be, which is welcome back user, which is the login. So we come here and then we select this. We just need to select copy, Control C, select the frame in the hole, press Control V. Okay, so we just need to drag it down. We change the alignment to left, and then just put it right here. Just align it to the red. Okay, so now we want to say welcome back user. So we just type welcome back user. Okay, so you can actually leave this as your text if you want to, or you can say you want the text to be bigger. So you know that the sign up screen has a effect. You can say, okay, you want it to be 36 or you want it to be 28. I use any of them actually. I use maybe 28 or 36. And maybe you don't want the user to be like this. You can say, okay, you want it to be user, and then you can increase the height right here to about 30, 34. Okay, 34. Okay, and then you come here, choose bold. Okay, now basically we have seen this effect, which is on those icons. Those icons you add on your um, on emojis, right? So emojis actually are actually on our keyboards and our laptop. Like naturally, they are always on our laptops. So if you press your Windows V, you notice that this thing pops up. So you press the Windows button and V, this pops up. So you can select an emoji right here, and then you can just select any emoji you want. So welcome back user, you can say you want it to be this icon, and then it pops up right here. Or you can say you want it to be a wave, it appears right here. So these are how you actually add those emojis to your design. So welcome back user, we have this set already. Cool. Now you see we're getting it little by little. Then we have this welcome back user. Next thing will be we want this username and we want the password. So how do we do that next? We just come here to user and come here username. So what we do now is that now the idea for creating username and password is that you don't need you can actually just copy your, since we already have a system here that is working, you can copy this system right here, Control C, Control V, raise it up right here. No, sorry, Control Z. You bring this one up. Okay. So now you might be confused about we're using login again. No, we're not using login. Okay. So we just come here. We change the colors to maybe let's just say gray. We have a gray. It's in here. Okay. So we can use this color here, and then we come here. We type. We just select the login, and then say username. Okay. So type username, and then on this place here, we need icons to relate to what we're doing. So what we do now is that we type the username right here, and then next thing we do is that we right click right here, we come to plugins, and then we'll go to iconify. So on the username, we need the icon of someone, and then we'll come here, we just come, we type user. So when you type user, you will notice that these pop up, like there are lots of it pop up right here. So you select the one that you like, and then you make sure that the text, you look at the text first again. So you notice that the height of the text is 26. Okay, so you know that when you're bringing in the user, you click on the icon, you come here, you look for the height to be between 25 or 26. So you say 25 or 26, any of them. So you come here, and then what you do next is that you make sure you click on the frame now, and then you press import frame. You can see it's imported. So you've done well. Now we've created this right here. You can see we're getting it little by little. So we created this right here, and you can see it on your screen there. Now I know that you're confused, but like it's at the center. Okay, now this is where the play of auto layout comes in. So you come here, right? You come here, and then remember I told you that you can actually come here and align it left, right? That's what we've done right now. And then we can say we want the space from left and right. Uh, you see left and right. So left and right is 10. You can say, okay, we want it to be 20. You press enter. Maybe you want it to be 20 or you want it to be 15. So any of them. You can say, you can leave the 10 too if you want it like that. And then you have the 10, or you can say you want it to be 15. Like it's adjustable to you. Okay, so make sure that it's something that is relatable and you've used app before. You just need to know how to. So when you select it, you can click on the icon. Maybe you don't want it to be a little bit bigger. You can just come here, you select it, you can say you want it to be 24. Okay, you can just adjust it there. So next one will be 24 if we're doing it. So username right here, and then you can duplicate it, control. Now let's fix this. So username, we know that we already told ourselves that anytime we're doing it, the username must be lighter because it's not active. So username, we can say let it be around this space here. We'll come here, Control C, Control V. Okay, we drag it down. Okay. So the next one will be the password. So the password is password, and then password you just need to select your. Now we just need to select the icon of the password, the icon of the user from the first one. So we just need to select that one. If you can't select it here, you can just select it on the frames here. So you can see, just select this frame right here. Then you come here, password. So everything you type here, you can see the effect there. So maybe you want it to be a padlock. You just look for something that has to do with a padlock. Just look for it. Yeah, just look for anyone right here. Okay, cool. if you just continue looking for the one that you actually like, because everybody has their own choice. So you can say, okay, if you don't see the one, you can actually come here and type padlock too. Okay, padlock. Okay, maybe I do like this one a bit. So you can click on this one, and when you click on it, if you notice something underneath, you can see that there are some changes. Underneath, you see replace icon or import as frame. Okay, so what you do is that when you import as frame, it comes as a new one. But when you replace icon, you replace the icon that is right there. So you can change it to 24 because the icon we are using here is 24. So you just come here, you click on replace icon, and then it changes the icon directly. There'll be no stress for you to adjust it or anything. So when you have this password right here, next one we know is that every password has an icon of an eye at the end of it. Now this is the idea a of auto layout. Now auto layout has made this in a very good spacious form. But then if I add something, it will go next to it, right? Now watch what we'll do here. We'll come here and we'll look for the eye. It will normally if you add the next icon, it will go next to the password. Yes. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to do it in a way. Let me show you how to do it now. You look for I, and then when you look for one that has just take a stroke. Just a cross line cross. Okay, so we can select this one and then import as frame. Okay, so we have this one now, and then we know that the eye should be at the end. So it should be at the end, right? Now, how do we do that? That's the question that you would ask. How do we do that? So what we do is that we want the icon to be at the right. So what we do is that we want to make sure want to differentiate them in auto layout form. So what we do is that we select the password, you hold shift, you select the keypad, and then you press shift A to make it an auto layout. So basically this is a different auto layout from the main one we have here. So we have the major auto layout and then we have this two auto layout here, right? Now we click on the main auto layout, which is the one that is embodying the password, and then we come here. You know that this one, I told you that you set everything, the space between the left and right is 15, and then this is where you can actually put center or right or left. But I didn't tell you something, you can actually do it in a way that it will spread out, right? It will spread out. So how do we do that? We can come here to the center and then you can actually double click on it and you see this. Okay, can double click on it and then you see this. So just double click on it, you can come back, double click on it, it goes. So if you get that point, if you're confused when you get to that point, let me know. So basically we've gotten this two, username and password, and then the space between them, let's look for it. Let's see, the space between them now is 16. So we can say, okay, we want it to be 15. Same thing for the buttons we have. So we can actually just push it down a bit like this. And then we are actually getting the same thing we have here. Okay, so now for us to do something, we have to make sure that we have a margin on top. So let's just push this down a bit. I think from around here. Cool. So we know that the margin from the top, right? Let's mark that. Click on this. Then when you press Alt over this thing here, 116.3. Okay, this is fair. 16.3 is fair. Okay, so just come here, and then we know that this is your username, password, and then we have forget password right here. We have login. So these are the different channels. So you can say login. Now, when we are bringing login back, login will now be active. Now on this first screen, if you notice, login was actually having this as this is what we call states. So in, yeah, like I said, Figma is a lot. So there is something called state in UI UX. So state is when something is active, when something is not active, when something is hovered, and when something is clicked. Those are the different there are different states like that. When something is active, when something is when you hover over something, when you click something, and when something is being processing. Those are different states of buttons. So we'll try and dive into that one at that time in the master class, which we're doing later in the future. But for now, this is the basics. And what we do next is that I want to bring in the next one. We bring in the login. So I don't want to actually edit this again. So we just come here and just take the sign in right here, put it up, right? And then we'll come here, login. Now, what should I do? So from this space to this space, let's see how many. So come here, click here, and then click on the username. What do we have? 37. Okay, 37. So we'll just let it be 40. Okay. Then this one and this one, let it be 15. Then this one and this one, 45. Okay, 45. That's fair. So for 45, this one here is 40. Now on this, let's add something more. Let's say let it be I think 50 would be nice. 50. Okay, 50. 50 is fair. Yeah. And the next thing is that we just come here, we copy this text right here. Like I said, everything is usable at some point when you're doing design. So we just paste it right here. And then the next thing to do is just drag it up, just remove it from the auto layout right there. Then you double click on it right here, and then you type forgot password. Okay, so you just forgot password right there. So basically it's at 14. Yeah, 14 is fair because you can see it very clearly. So you just need to put it down right there. And then, like I said, we don't need everything to be congested. So when you're fixing it, you come here, you adjust it. That is 40. So we can actually come and say, okay, let this be 60. Okay, 60, 60, 60 is fair. Let's just say 70. Cool. And then on this place, you can come here, click on this button right here, and then you come to this place. Now, this is typography. You can see the name of the font. You can see the size and the size regular, the size in numbers, and then the kenning and leading. And then you have your alignment, and then you have your text whenever they are in, you want to align them middle or bottom when you're typing all this. And you can come here when you click on this type settings here right here. You can click on this place called underline, so you can see this removes any effect. This underlines the text. Okay, so you come here to fill, and then you fill it with the color of this. So like I said, it's always registered. Every color on your Figma page is registered here, so you see them there. And then you have created a login screen successfully. So that's how you create a login screen. So your assignment will be to create a sign-up screen, and your sign-up screen will have email, password, confirm password, and so username, confirm password, create account. Okay, so that's what you're creating, and basically then we'll come back tomorrow for the final day. Okay, so that will be your assignment to create a um, a sign up screen. So this is for login. So let me see you all do a sign up screen. And you can actually add more spice to your login screen. You can type things like, okay, you can type things like create an account. You can do that. Just let me just copy this because of time. So okay, create an account. You can sign up. So basically, this will now take you to the sign up page if you notice. So that's it. That's how you actually shift things. You can just change this to okay. So you can change this to red. No, yeah, and then you can change the text to Inter. And we have 14 as our normal text. Yeah. Okay, so you can add now. I think we're back. Okay, so for your assignment, like I said, that's what we're actually creating. You create the sign up screen with the information, and you can share a screenshot on the group to see what you've done. Okay, so that will be your assignment. You create a sign up page for it. Okay, so tomorrow we'll do dashboard, and then we actually look into portfolio, which is how to create a portfolio on UI, like UI UX on Figma. Sorry. So yeah, we'll come to the end of today, and yeah, hope you've learned something, and mostly on auto layout and arranging your files and spacing and organizing your work. So to let me know if you have any questions, and then we'll tackle them in the group. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Great. Okay, so oh, thank you. Thank the Lord. Okay, good. So we're good. Okay, so like I said, you be doing your sign up screen, and yeah. Okay, so like I said, basically, and which you are creating by yourself. So this is your assignment. So basically, okay, so like I said, plugins we're using is Iconify and Unsplash. Okay, so you just like I said, you're doing the sign up, and then tomorrow we do on dashboard. And basically, I have already created the dashboard, but we'll just this is what we that there's a lot to do, so I'm not gonna just like there's a lot to do, and I've created each of it for us to see how it's gonna be like. But we are, we're just gonna try to customize the time and make everything work well for us. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and you guys have a good night rest. Okay, so you guys, well done, everyone. Okay, everyone, seeing you all tomorrow.